Colby Covington. Just hearing the name sparks a storm of emotions, whether you're a die-hard MMA fan or someone just stumbling into the world of combat sports. You've likely heard of him. But what is it that makes Colby so famous? Is it his brutal knockout power? The way he trash talks his opponents like no one else in the game? Or maybe it's his lifestyle, his luxury cars, his cocky persona, and his relentless need to be the center of attention? Well, whatever you think you know about Colby Covington, you're about to hear the untold story behind his fame. Why this man is a walking controversy, a fighter who plays by his own rules, and an athlete who has managed to carve out his path to superstardom. Now, let's take a step back and talk about something that isn't always obvious. Colby's success doesn't come from trash talk alone. It's about his mentality. You see, Colby Covington has a work ethic that matches his words. This guy doesn't just train. He lives in the gym. It's the same toughness that fuels his rise to fame. The world saw Colby talking smack, but behind the scenes, he was putting in work while others were resting. The reality is that's why he's here. And that kind of mentality, it's what makes him stand out from other fighters who simply aren't willing to push through that next level of discomfort. But to truly understand Colby Covington's fame, we need to go beyond the F's cage. We need to dig deeper into the psyche of the man who has captivated millions. So sit back. We're going into Colby Covington's lifestyle, personality, cars, and everything in between. But here's the catch, there's a twist at the end that will completely change your perception of him. Colby's controversial image is another piece of the puzzle. Sure, some people think he goes too far, and I get it. It's hard to love a guy who attacks entire nations or mocks his opponents. But here's the thing, controversy sells. In the world of combat sports, being a quiet, respectful fighter won't necessarily get you the attention you crave. And in a world filled with fighters who try to play it safe, Colby's unapologetic persona stands out. It might rub some the wrong way, but it's precisely what made him a star. In a sport where getting noticed can be half the battle, Colby turned his flaws into the ultimate weapon before he was the brash, in-your-face fighter that lit up press conferences with his trash talk. Colby Covington was just a kid from Clovis, California. A kid who, like many others, had big dreams. But here's the thing, Colby was never just another kid. There was something in him from the start, something that told you, this guy is different. Growing up, Colby was a force to be reckoned with in wrestling. From high school to college, he was racking up accolades, state titles, NCAA honors, everything that would signal to the world that this guy was going places. And here's the thing, Colby wasn't just good. He was relentless. He had that fire that most of us only dream of. You know, there's something about wrestlers that's different from other athletes. It's that mental toughness, the ability to push past limits. And Colby, in those early days, was already showing signs of that. He wasn't just working hard for the win, he was working hard to dominate. That mentality, that's what eventually led him to the UFC. But here's where things get interesting. Colby didn't just stop at wrestling. No. He had his sights set on something bigger, something more. A world where the stakes were higher, the rewards greater, and the trash talk even louder. Enter the UFC, the big leagues, the place where every fighter is trying to make a name for themselves. And to do that, he knew he had to do more than just fight. He needed to become a spectacle. So, what did Colby do? He turned up the volume. Big time. He wasn't the humble, quiet fighter we often see trying to be liked. No, he became the villain. The loudmouth who called out anyone and everyone. His famous feud with Tyrone Woodley, Colby didn't just want to fight him. No, he wanted to get under his skin. He wanted to make Woodley feel his presence before the bell even rang. And then came the moment that would cement Colby as the most controversial fighter in UFC history, his America First persona. You could almost hear the gasps. A whole new level of trash talk. Colby didn't just attack fighters, he attacked entire nations. Remember when he called Brazil the worst place on earth? Yeah, that was a bold move. Not exactly the kind of thing that wins you fans, but man, it sure made people pay attention. But here's the thing, it worked. Colby's trash talk didn't just get him fights, it got him millions of eyeballs. The hate, the love, the controversy, it all fueled him. The more people disliked him, the stronger he became. The more people called him out, the more his name spread. Now, we all know that a fighter's personality isn't just about the words they speak, it's about their lifestyle. So let's talk about Colby's life outside the octagon, the cars, the money, the fame. But I'm about to throw a twist in here because what you think you know might not be the whole picture. Now, let's be real for a second. Colby Covington didn't just stop at becoming a fighter. And a big part of that empire is his lifestyle. You've seen the photos, the videos, the man is living a life most of us only dream of. I'll admit it, I'm kind of jealous. Colby's collection of sports cars? Insane. Ferraris, Lamborghinis, you name it. The guy clearly knows how to spend his money. But it's not just about the cars. It's about the message that comes with it. Colby's success isn't just a byproduct of fighting. It's a lifestyle, a persona that screams, I did this on my own. You see, the trash talk helped, but the real drive came from his relentless pursuit of success. This man didn't just want to win, he wanted to build something bigger than himself. And now, here he is, enjoying the fruits of that labor. But let me tell you something. It wasn't always this glamorous. There were days when Colby had to fight for his place, not just in the octagon, but in the spotlight. His rise wasn't handed to him. He had to fight tooth and nail to get the attention he deserved. And what's next for Colby? Will his controversial persona eventually catch up to him? Or is this just the beginning of his journey? Stay tuned because Colby Covington is more than just a fighter. He's a symbol of resilience, controversy, and success. And I'm telling you, his story is far from over. So if you enjoyed this breakdown of Colby Covington's life, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the world of combat sports and beyond. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next video. And hey, leave a comment below what's your take on Colby. Do you love him or do you think he's just too much? Thanks for watching, and remember, stay hungry, stay driven, and never let anyone silence your voice.